Welcome back to our channel where we explore fascinating tales from ancient texts and unravel their hidden meanings. Today, we delve into the captivating story of Lucifer, a figure shrouded in mystery and controversy. Join us as we embark on a journey through the pages of history and religious scriptures, seeking to shed light on the enigmatic character known as Lucifer. Lucifer, the fallen angel, the serpent in the Garden of Eden, the embodiment of pride and rebellion. This intriguing figure has captivated the minds of believers and scholars alike for centuries. But who is Lucifer, really? And how did he become entwined with the narrative of the Garden of Eden? In this video, we will carefully examine the early passages of Genesis, investigating whether the serpent in the Garden of Eden was explicitly identified as Lucifer. We'll explore various interpretations and theories put forward by religious scholars throughout history. Could Lucifer have manipulated the serpent, or was he the serpent himself? The answers may surprise you. Before the biblical God created the world, he first brought forth the heavens. Within the heavens, various celestial beings were created, including cherubs, angels, and archangels. Among these archangels, Lucifer stood as the highest-ranking, the chief messenger of God himself. Described as the most magnificent creature ever fashioned by God, Lucifer possessed unparalleled beauty and flawlessness. In Ezekiel 28 verse 15, he is depicted as perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created. However, Lucifer's exceptional qualities compared to his fellow creations led to arrogance. His pride swelled, and he began to believe that he deserved to occupy God's place. He aspired to be God himself. Given his privileged position in the presence of God, surpassing all others, and his seemingly superior understanding of God, Lucifer deemed himself the most suitable candidate to overthrow his Lord. Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 14 quotes what some believe to be Lucifer, expressing his desire to ascend to heaven and exalt his throne above the stars of God. Lucifer's ambition even surpassed that of God, as he sought a position even higher than God's own. Lucifer's pride blinded him, driving him down a path of haughtiness. He began manipulating other angels into serving him, utilizing his superior intellect to deceive them. While some angels remained loyal to God, many, like Lucifer, who would later be known as fallen angels, began viewing him as the superior being. Ezekiel 28 verse 15 acknowledges Lucifer's initial perfection but also notes the presence of iniquity within him, tarnishing his once flawless nature. As a result, a third of the angels joined him in his rebellion. Lucifer launches an assault on God, initiating a colossal conflict for control of the heavens. However, Lucifer underestimates the formidable resistance posed by another archangel, known as Michael. Unable to overcome Michael in his current form, Lucifer quickly starts to doubt his own perfection. Subsequently, Lucifer undergoes a transformation, assuming the form of a dragon, as described in Revelation 12 verses 7 to 8. A fierce battle unfolds in heaven, with Michael and his angels engaging in combat against the dragon and his angels. Yet, the dragon and his followers fail to prevail, and their place in heaven is no more. Some may argue that Lucifer initially displayed courage in his attempt to triumph, but many see it as an act of blind arrogance. Ultimately, Lucifer suffers defeat at the hands of Archangel Michael, revealing the immense power of the biblical God. Interestingly, God does not directly intervene in the battle but works through Michael to overcome Lucifer. Regardless of the means, Lucifer's defeat is absolute. Continuing in Revelation 12 verse 9, it is mentioned that the great dragon, also identified as the devil and Satan, is cast out. This event marks Lucifer's transition to the name Satan following his defeat. The loss experienced by Lucifer extends beyond mere pride. He loses everything. Not only is he rejected by God, but he is also expelled from heaven alongside the angels who sided with him. Thus, he relinquishes his former glory as the most magnificent and flawless being among God's creations. Instead, he assumes the role of the complete opposite. In Luke 10 verse 18, Jesus, as quoted by Luke, describes witnessing Satan's fall from heaven like lightning. The ultimate destiny of Lucifer is detailed in Revelation 20 verse 10, where it is understood that the deceitful devil, along with the beast and the false prophet, is thrown into the lake of fire and brimstone. They are destined to endure eternal torment day and night. However, it is clear that Lucifer does not quietly accept his sentence. From the very moment of his expulsion, he begins plotting his revenge against God. No longer God's favored creation, Lucifer directs his vengeance towards mankind itself. When God creates Adam and Eve, Lucifer seizes the opportunity to scorn God by tempting them with the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. Lucifer cunningly infiltrates the Garden of Eden, assuming the guise of a serpent. However, in the early passages of Genesis, which describe the temptation of Eve, the serpent is never explicitly identified as Lucifer. In Genesis 3 verse 1, the snake is merely described as a crafty animal. Therefore, the notion that Lucifer is the serpent is a belief held by members of the faith, but it is not explicitly stated in these initial passages. Some argue that Lucifer is referred to as the serpent in Revelation 12 verse 9, where he is called the bold serpent, suggesting a connection between Lucifer and the original serpent. Others propose that Lucifer did not embody the snake itself in the Garden of Eden but manipulated it to speak on his behalf. However, there is no scriptural support for this interpretation. Furthermore, when examining the origin of the name Lucifer, it is revealed that it stems from Latin, meaning light bringer, morning star, or even the planet Venus. However, the question arises as to how this Latin term finds its way into a Hebrew manuscript, considering that the manuscript predates the existence of the Latin language. By analyzing Isaiah 14 verse 12, which is the only passage in Scripture where the name Lucifer is explicitly mentioned, some believe it refers not to the devil but to a fallen Babylonian king. This king, who is mortal and not a divine angel, had committed grave sins in persecuting Israel and arrogantly believed he was beyond the power and punishment of the biblical God. In this argument, Isaiah seeks to expose the folly of this earthly king rather than the folly of the archangel Lucifer. Interestingly, the term Lucifer is not universally used across all translations of Isaiah. Some versions simply refer to the subject as the morning star or Hello, a Hebrew word denoting Venus. This implies that the Babylonian king, whose identity is not confirmed in Scripture, was once highly regarded before his predicted downfall as described by Isaiah. How the story of Lucifer transformed into that of a fallen angel is not precisely known. Speculation suggests that early Christians, who were writing in Latin at the time, took the opportunity to incorporate a story about a fallen angel. According to this argument, Isaiah 14 verse 12 was hijacked by these scribes and molded to fit their narrative about the character Lucifer. By the time of King James I and the English translations, Saint Jerome, who played a significant role in these translations, incorporated Lucifer into the final version. Thus, the account of a Babylonian king who fell due to his arrogance was intertwined with the biblical narrative of the fall and eventually became canonical for some believers. A similar case can be made for Ezekiel 28 verse 15, where it is said, "You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created until iniquity was found in you." While many believe that Ezekiel is addressing Lucifer, other interpretations indicate that Ezekiel is actually referring to an unnamed mortal king of Tyre. In conclusion, regardless of how one interprets the story of Lucifer, whether as an unnamed Babylonian king or the fallen angel of God, the moral of the tale is profound. It echoes the saying, "Pride goes before a fall," as stated in Proverbs 16 verse 18. It serves as a reminder that if we become overly confident and perceive ourselves as more powerful than we truly are, we risk setting ourselves up for failure. The story also teaches us the importance of humility and gratitude for what we have. While it is essential to have aspirations, we should not rush into things impulsively or be consumed by our desires. It also emphasizes the importance of respecting our elders, parents, and those who have paved the way before us. In some cases, they possess knowledge and wisdom that may surpass our own understanding at the time. For instance, Lucifer falsely believed he was superior to God and disregarded the fact that God had created him and bestowed upon him his position. Lucifer's rebellion against God ultimately resulted in his expulsion, demonstrating that there can and should be severe consequences for disrespecting those who came before us. Thank you for watching. We hope you have gained insights into the Bible through this discussion. Please consider subscribing and clicking on the notification icon for future updates. Stay tuned for more episodes where we delve into critical issues found in the Bible.